You see, for decades, this one act has been wrapped in layers of judgment, religious beliefs, societal shame, locker room myths, and wild internet theories. Masturbation. But today, we're not diving into guilt, morality, or spiritual angles. Today, we're diving deep into the health side of the conversation. What does science actually say about it? Are there benefits to it, and what are the risks? So today we will talk about it in detail. Let's begin. Masturbation can actually be good for your health. Yeah, not just in theory. We're talking real, measurable effects backed by science. Let's break them down, not just the what, but also the why. 1. It lowers stress, and science backs it. During orgasm, your body releases a cocktail of feel-good hormones: dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. These are the same brain chemicals that flood your system after exercise, hugging someone you love, or even laughing until your stomach hurts. Dopamine boosts mood and focus. Oxytocin, the love hormone, helps you feel bonded, calm, and secure. Endorphins act like natural painkillers and stress relievers. It's like a biological reset button, helping you come back to center. 2. It helps you sleep better. After orgasm, your brain releases prolactin, a hormone linked to feelings of satisfaction and relaxation. Prolactin helps quiet the nervous system and prepare your body for deep, restful sleep. That's why some people use masturbation as a natural sleep aid. No pills, no gimmicks, just your own biology doing its thing. In fact, studies have found that orgasm can improve the quality of sleep, especially for people dealing with insomnia or stress-related restlessness. It can improve your mood and reduce anxiety. That's because the brain's reward system kicks in during orgasm. And unlike quick fixes like junk food or alcohol, this is one of the few self-soothing habits that doesn't flood your body with harmful toxins. By activating the brain's mesolimbic dopamine system, masturbation can temporarily ease symptoms of mild depression, anxiety, and emotional dullness. It doesn't replace therapy or deep healing, but it can offer a soft landing when things get too heavy. 4. Sexual self-awareness. Most people go through life knowing very little about their own bodies. What feels good, what doesn't, what arouses them, what doesn't. Masturbation, when approached mindfully, helps you learn your own rhythms, your sensitivities, your preferences, and that self-knowledge, it matters because it can improve your communication in relationships, help you set boundaries, and make intimacy with a partner much more meaningful and less stressful. It's like tuning your own instrument before playing in an orchestra. Knowing yourself helps you connect better with others. 5. It can improve sexual function, stamina, control, and confidence. Let's say it plainly. The more in tune you are with your own arousal patterns, the better your sexual performance can become. For men, masturbation can help build ejaculatory control and boost stamina. For women, it can increase vaginal lubrication, pelvic floor strength, and ease of arousal. This isn't about being a superstar in bed. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin and reducing performance anxiety. Because when you're not afraid of your own body, you stop performing and start experiencing. Supports prostate health in men. Regular ejaculation may reduce the risk of prostate cancer. A study published in the journal European Urology found that men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer than those who did less. Why? Scientists believe that ejaculation helps flush out toxins and dead cells from the prostate, keeping it healthier in the long run. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a natural maintenance mechanism your body already has built in. 7. Boosts your immune system. It might sound wild, but there's evidence suggesting that orgasm can actually strengthen your immune function. One study from the University of Wilkes-Barre in Pennsylvania found that people who had sex or masturbated regularly had higher levels of immunoglobulin A, IgA, an antibody that fights off bacteria and viruses. So, while masturbation isn't going to prevent a cold, it may give your body a little boost in defending itself. 8. Helps with menstrual cramps in women. For many women, menstrual cramps are brutal. and painkillers only do so much. Orgasm, through masturbation, can offer relief by triggering uterine muscle contractions that help release tension and improve blood flow. The endorphins released during climax can also act as natural painkillers, reducing the discomfort without medication. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but many women swear by it, and the biology backs them up. 9. Promotes mental clarity and focus. Ever noticed how your mind feels sharper, more present, more grounded after masturbation? That's because the release of stress hormones is accompanied by a neurological reset. You think clearer, you breathe easier, your emotional bandwidth returns. Some people even use masturbation as a mental reset tool, especially during emotionally draining periods or high-stakes work cycles. 10. It's safe. No pregnancy, no STIs, no drama. Let's not forget the obvious. Masturbation is 100% free from STIs. It's the safest form of sexual expression available, and that alone makes it worth understanding without shame. But, and this is important, that doesn't mean there are no risks, because what helps in moderation can harm in excess, especially when it becomes more than just a once-in-a-while habit. The downsides of masturbation. While self-pleasure is often discussed in whispers, memes, or oversimplified health blogs, the truth is always left out. The side that often gets left out. The psychological effects, the emotional costs, and the real-life consequences of excessive masturbation that aren't always so obvious on the surface. And for many people, it's not about the act itself, but about how it's used and what it starts to replace in our lives. So let's dive into it. 1. The motivation drain. Dopamine overload. You know that high you feel right after? That momentary satisfaction, like the brain just had its favorite dessert? That's dopamine, your brain's natural reward chemical. Now here's the catch. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure. It's about motivation, drive, and focus. It tells your brain, this thing is worth chasing. But when masturbation, especially with pornography, becomes a frequent source of artificial dopamine spikes, your brain starts to recalibrate. Over time, things that used to excite you, like work goals, reading, exercise, or even romantic intimacy, can feel dull in comparison. That's not laziness. That's neurochemical imbalance. Studies have shown that overstimulation of the brain's reward system can lead to desensitization, where it takes more and more stimulation to feel the same level of pleasure. This rewires the brain's motivation circuits, making real-life tasks feel like a chore. So, if you've ever found yourself procrastinating more, feeling unmotivated, or drifting away from your passions, this could be part of the reason why. 2. Focus fog. Masturbation clears the mind. For many people, the long-term effect is actually the opposite. Excessive masturbation, particularly when combined with high-speed, high-stimulus content like porn, can lead to what's now called brain fog. This isn't just a vague feeling. It's a real phenomenon where people report shortened attention spans, difficulty concentrating, poor memory recall, mental sluggishness. Why does this happen? Well, overuse of sexual stimulation floods the brain with dopamine, but also burns out the receptors that keep it balanced. When this happens repeatedly, it affects executive function, the brain's ability to make decisions, plan, and stay on task. This is the science behind why you may feel more distracted, easily overwhelmed, or forgetful after frequent episodes. 3. The procrastination trap. When release becomes an escape, masturbation, for many, becomes a quick way to escape uncomfortable emotions, stress, boredom, anxiety, or even loneliness. And while there's nothing wrong with self-soothing, the issue arises when it becomes the default coping mechanism. Before you know it, you're not just doing it for pleasure. You're doing it to delay that task, numb that feeling, or avoid that difficult conversation. This can spiral into a cycle where "I'll do it just to relax before work" becomes "I feel drained and guilty. I'll start my day later. Then I'm behind." Now I feel anxious again, and the cycle repeats. Over time, this pattern can significantly affect your productivity, confidence, and self-discipline. 4. Emotional numbness. Losing the spark in real relationships. There's a quiet cost to relying too heavily on solo pleasure, especially when it replaces intimacy with another human being. Repeated exposure to pornographic content has been shown to reduce the brain's natural response to real-life sexual stimuli. This means it can become harder to feel aroused, connected, or emotionally present with a partner. Some men have even reported difficulty getting or maintaining an erection in real-life encounters, not because of a medical condition, but because their brains have been conditioned to expect high-intensity, screen-based stimulation. This creates a painful disconnection. Intimacy starts to feel like pressure. Real people can't compete with digital fantasies, and emotional closeness, which should feel warm and fulfilling, starts to feel boring. 5. Guilt, shame, and the cycle of self-disappointment. Even when people know it's affecting them, they often keep going. Why? Because it's hard to stop. The momentary release is too comforting. The guilt that follows is too familiar. And slowly, it turns into a pattern of regret. Why did I do that again? Followed by promises to quit, and then starting all over again. This isn't a moral failing. It's a loop, reinforced by dopamine, emotions, and habit. But that guilt adds up. Over time, it chips away at your self-esteem. You start to doubt your willpower. You feel less confident, less energetic, less in control. And all of that makes it harder to break the habit. 6. The link to anxiety, depression, and loneliness. This one's real. Multiple studies and anecdotal reports now suggest that excessive masturbation, particularly when driven by compulsive urges or chronic porn use, may contribute to increased anxiety, low mood, or depressive symptoms, social withdrawal, loneliness. Why? Because you're feeding the brain synthetic highs but starving it of real-life connection, achievement, movement, and meaning. And when you feel stuck in a loop, it's easy to feel isolated, like nobody understands, or like you're broken. But you're not broken. You're just caught in something that many people are silently battling. 7. Memory loss. Is it real? This is where science gets careful. There's no direct proof that masturbation itself causes long-term memory loss. But what we do know is that dopamine dysregulation and chronic distraction can impact short-term memory and recall, especially if you're frequently overstimulating your brain, sleeping poorly afterward, or feeling mentally exhausted the next day. Your brain's ability to retain and recall information can suffer. So while masturbation isn't destroying your brain cells, the context, frequency, and emotional aftermath may be hurting your mental sharpness more than you realize. If any of this hits close to home, let me be the first to say, you're not alone and you're not doomed. This brings us to the big question: is it healthy or unhealthy? With everything we've explored so far, the benefits, the drawbacks, the science, and the whispers of psychological impact, it all leads us to that one big question we're all wondering. And the truth? Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. For some people, masturbation can be a perfectly natural part of self-discovery and sexual health. But for others, it can quietly cross a line. When it becomes compulsive, when it starts interfering with your daily goals, your relationships, your focus, that's when it may shift from harmless habit to a hidden burden. So here's the truth. It's not so much about whether it's good or bad. It's about the role it plays in your life. Is it something you control or something that started to control you? Only you can answer that. I want to hear from you. With all that we've covered, where do you stand? Is masturbation something you see as a healthy outlet or a habit that quietly drains your energy? Drop a comment below. And let's talk like real people, because someone out there might need to hear what you have to say.